Welcome back. There's still time for some great grilling this season and maybe some new ideas and tips for you to try out for the thrill of the grill in your backyard. And we welcome Gallatin County Extension Agents Rosie Allen and David Hull. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
You know, I know a lot of folks, this is one of their favorite parts of the summer season is being able to grill. And there are some important safety things you need to keep in mind, especially in light of some of the recent events that we've heard about with meat products, right?
Absolutely, Christy. We've had two, in the last 3 weeks, we've had two ground meat recalls. We've had Cargill's recalled 36 million pounds of ground pork. National Beef Packaging has recalled 60,000 pounds of ground beef. So there's been a few sicknesses from it, not many, thankfully. These were voluntary recalls. So we appreciate the industry doing what they did to make sure that safe food stayed in the grocery stores and that kind of thing. Now, the ground turkey recall does affect Kentucky. The ground beef recall did not. There were no Kentucky stores that happened to carry that product. But there were ground turkey. There is ground turkey in some of the stores, or was before they recalled it. So if you bought ground turkey in the last 2 or 3 weeks and maybe you stuck it in the freezer, you may want to get it out and call the number that, or take it back to the store and let them know that you bought this and is it safe, and they'll know.
And what's so important about grilling is that we look for those char marks and those things on the outside of the meat, but
Right.
the danger with some of the illnesses associated with these recalls is when it's not cooked to the right temperature, right?
Well, that's pretty much right. And unfortunately, so many people think that to cook it to a safe temperature, that it's got to be like a hockey puck when they get finished with it, and it's not exactly true. For instance, let's talk about with ground beef here. Now, this is not ground beef. This is rubber, as you can see. But anywho,
made for TV.
Made for TV food. And for ground beef, you can cook it. If you get it to 160 degrees, it'll be done. It won't be overcooked, but it'll be safe enough for anyone to eat, And now there's different temperatures for different things. Even steaks, people think, oh my gosh, if I cook a steak on the grill the way they want me to, it'll be tough as shoe leather. Well, that's not exactly true, because you can cook steaks to the internal temperature as low as 145 degrees for a medium rare. It's still safe to eat at a medium or medium rare doneness. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, anytime you get one of these, I love these thermometer things. I have like a whole collection of them in my house, because you got to be safe and you don't have to cut in the meat and let the juices out and all that stuff, too.
Absolutely.
And one of the least favorite parts about the grill is having to clean up afterwards. At least you're not cleaning out your kitchen and heating it up with a stove. But you have a trick that I'm anxious to hear about cleaning the grill?
Absolutely. First off, you want to make sure whenever you're preparing food, you're keeping everything clean. That includes your top 10 reasons here for foodborne illness. Keep your hands clean, your utensils clean, your platters clean. And when you are finished grilling your meat, if you don't remember anything else we talked about today,
I'll remember the cleaning tip if it's something that's going to make that easier.
You're going to take a sheet of heavy-duty aluminum foil. You can use regular foil, but I like heavy-duty. Place it shiny side down on the grill once you're finished grilling your meat. I take the box and kind of flatten it out a little bit. Close the lid on your gas grill or put the lid back on your charcoal grill. Turn your gas grill up to high. Leave it on for 15 minutes, which is about the length of time most people use for their meal. And afterwards, turn your grill off and close all the vents on your charcoal grill. The next time you go to use your grill, you open up the lid, there's that sheet of foil, wad it up, just scrape the ash right off the grate. I'm telling you, once you try this, right, Dave?
Once you try, you'll never clean the grill any other way.
Oh, I am definitely trying that, and I hope my husband's watching today. We just grilled last night, and you've got one of those little brush things to try to scrape it off, and that's not as easy.
Right.
Not at all.
Another thing I'd love to mention if we have time is that when people do buy their food thermometers, make sure that it's an instant read thermometer, one they can get a reading on very, very quickly, because they look a lot alike. But this one's made to stay in the oven. This one's an instant read. And if they're going to take a reading on something like, I'll use this one for an example, of a hamburger, you can't just stick it in like that. You need to go in the side. That way you get the true internal temperature. It needs to go in at least 1.5 or 2 inches. That way you really know you're getting a good temperature. If you don't, And if you just trust luck, you may cook it too much like this one, and
that's not what you want.
That's not what you want.
Well, some great grilling advice. Thank you both so much for being with us. And, of course, the UK Extension offices in your county are wonderful resources of information for all kinds of safety and healthy living things as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We will be right back with a check of your grilling forecast coming up next.